Ladies and gentlemen, we are here in 2024, and 2024 is probably looking to be an okay year in games. But never forget, 2023 had its hits and misses. However, the way I'm doing things, it won't just be lambasting the worst games of 2023. Oh no! See, I decided to do things a little different. This is going to be my Hall of Shame. And later on in the month, there'll be a Hall of Fame. But, for right now, let's focus on the creme de la creme of crap. And, of course, 2 entries have already made it into this Hall of Shame, which would be the franchise destroyer that is Dynasty Warriors 6/6 Special, and of course the developer destroyer as of now, which is Saints Row Reboot. So who will be joining these 2 villains in video games in the Hall of Shame? Well, you're gonna have to find out, and guess what? That's happening today. So, with that said, let's go! You had one job. One! All you had to do was follow up from Samurai Warriors 4-2 and 4 Empires, expand upon the game, and make it a better experience, adding new characters and new mechanics. And what do you do instead? You cut the roster down to 27 people, some of which are new characters. But even worse, not only did you cut the roster down, you now went the Spirit of Sonata route, which you didn't need to do. And then you had the utter audacity to add a season pass to the game that didn't even deserve it. And what's worse is rehashes from Dynasty Warriors 9! Why? Yeah, I also want to mention something, that most of the game is locked until you actually progress through the story. Bare bones as it is! On top of the fact that there's grinding! Lots and lots of grinding! There's no point for a season pass when you still have to beat the fucking game just to get it! Oh, never mind the fact that clone weapons are here. Oh, and all the models that you thought were new characters, no, they just made people look different and just bastardized the characters and tried to make Nobunaga a fresh-faced challenger. Let me tell y'all something about fresh-faced challengers. They are literally a character trope where characters who are supposed to be the hero, that's supposed to learn humility, don't! I know the term for that is Mary Sue, but they're worse than Mary Sue's. And Gary Sue's, or any kind of Sue's. They're the type of characters that do not know that they are beaten until they are near death, and even then they still don't learn. That's what they did with Nobunaga, and he's one of many characters that's been bastardized. Never mind the fact that this game forces you to also level up your clone weapon as well as level up your character. What a waste of time. This is even worse than 6. And it also got a Cond Award. So, give us a big fuck you to Koei and Samurai Warriors 5 for its induction, not only as a Cond Award recipient, but also into the Hall of Shame, because this right here has killed the franchise. And Koei, a word of advice, you've already made a game where Nobunaga was a noble person and all the characters were better. By the way, that game is Kessen. What happened here? And that's all I have to say about that. They just kept bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching. They were bitching so much that Reset Era even made a harassment campaign against the director in charge of Atlas. And guess what? Atlas finally folded like a bunch of cards, catering to their will starting this game. Not only did Reset Era literally force these guys to hire Katrina, but Reset Era also forced them to retranslate the game, change this scene to a bastardization, and let alone the retranslation is poor because they literally give away Shido before he's introduced in his arc. And we get the pleasure of having to fight Ancient Gear Golem as the final boss of the game, which is much easier than Yaldabaoth. How do you do that? Seriously, we did not need this boss. And if anything, this boss should have been in on Persona 5, not 5 Royal. And let's be blunt, folks. If you wanted me to care about Maruki, he should have been in the game September 15th, 2016. And I'm just gonna say it right now. This boss is the worst boss in all of Persona history. Far worse than even the battle with Marie. How do you get worse than that? I'm just going to say it because nobody else will. Yaldabaoth is the better battle. Yaldabaoth is the better ending. Yaldabaoth is the better bookends. Plain and simple. Because this is cooler than fighting Ancient Gear Golem. Putting a bullet in God's head, or at least the God of Control's head, pretty much is more cathartic than having to deal with Maruki and his problems. Oh, and if you think that's bad, aside from the cut content resold as actual gameplay, so too they have a lot of DLC. Ironically, I could show off 2 games that ported off of the PS3 and 4 onto other consoles better than 5 Royal. Hey, recognize these, Atlas? They're from your parent company! Not only are they exclusive on all consoles, but the DLC is built within it. Which begs the question, why does 5 Royal exist? It should only be 5. And for your monetary greed and your kowtowing the Reset Era, you get the Cond Award because you can't do what your predecessors did right. I tried to get back into the NBA 2K series, but then I realized that it's hard to, especially since the gameplay is literally the VC Bucks. 2K Studio is trash, and so is this game. Accept your Cond Award, and please kindly fuck off!
Lots more to come, including the highly hotly anticipated Mortal Kombat 12 and Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League.
You know your franchise is royally fucked when Ed Boon is not the one announcing the franchise, but David Zaslav is, in an attempt to try to get as much money as humanly possible to cover the ridiculous deficit that he caused upon his tenure as being CEO. And that's all this game is for. And as you can see, this is the end result of the ridiculous crunch time that it took for NetherRealm to put out this game. They had to throw together a story, they had to throw together everything, add microtransactions, add guest characters, and add whatever it is, except for one thing: beautiful women. Yes, realistic proportions affect this game too. And you want to know what the worst part about this is? The fact that not even the shills, not even the FGC can defend this game. By the way, the footage you see here is the beta. That beta footage also became the Switch upon release. Yeah. There is literally no one that can defend this unfinished game. And that is the thing. They literally sold an unfinished game across all ports. And everyone's leaving. The FGC is leaving. The people who shill this game is leaving. The casuals are leaving. Everyone is leaving. And what's worse, this game, as of now, is 50% off. And the game hasn't even been released for, what do you know, 4 months. By the way, that conversation Zaslav happened 4 months ago. So yeah, NetherRealm was put in a horrific spot because Zaslav was trying to get off on the success of Hogwarts Legacy. And look at what happened. Look at what it did. All it did was just made terrible decisions and terrible graphical images on all sides. And with this terrible game, I hereby dub it a con. Fuck you, Zaslav. And now it's time to learn how to kill a beloved franchise in just 4 easy steps. Step 1. Take away all of the destroyeds in Guilty Gear and instead increase overdrives to the point where they hit like destroyeds. Why in God's green earth does that sound so familiar? I feel like we've been here before, but I just can't quite put my finger on it. Step 2. Unless your soul, Key, their relatives, or Eno, you don't matter. Not even that man matters. And he's been revealed via DLC. Bridget and Testament, oh, those poor guys, they got completely shafted. I just feel like we have been here before because another instance of this actually happened in the past, in the dark ages of Guilty Gear. But I just can't quite put my finger on it. Step 3. Easily spammable Roman cancels and easily spammable burst. It's almost as if making burst and romantic cancels once per turn wasn't balanced enough for the FGC, but apparently it isn't. And by the way, that also was a thing several years ago, and I'm starting to get the picture as to where this is going. I am getting the picture where exactly all of these terrible mechanics is coming from. Step 4. Make the main story supersede pretty much the entirety of the game, including the multiplayer on and offline. And on that note, yeah, you literally went and did it. After coming out of the Dark Ages, Arc System Works brought us back in. My god, those crazy bastards did it. They made Guilty Gear Isuka 2. How in God's green earth did you went backwards after Revelator 2nd? How in God's green earth did you do that? We were out of the Dark Ages. We were out of the crappy RPG. We tried to forget that. But no, you brought us back in with the help of the FGC. And now, they're leaving, and so are the casuals. Face it, Ark, your game sucks. And now, you're a Con Award recipient. It's gonna have to earn its name, Strive, back. And I don't think it will. For those who haven't seen my main channel, I've already played this catastrophe of a game. Do you really want me to go through how bad this game is? Crashing every 10 minutes? And it's still not finished? And they've abandoned it? No, I will not go any further. Instead, I will give it its con and tell 2K once again to shove it! I'm sorry, there is no defense for Chinatown Wars. Whether it's the PSP or the DS, both systems can handle open worlds and 3D models, and they can handle a lot of pre-rendered cutscenes. So this game, having stills and top-down gameplay looking like a mobile game, is the epitome of laziness. This is, without a doubt, the downward spiral of Grand Theft Auto. Granted, 5 is a good game, the decisions in 5 online, and eventually 6 when it comes out, is all stemming from the laziness here. And it's this game that is the worst game in the series, whether it's DS or PSP, and it deserves a Con Award. Good news! By this time, Hyperdimension Neptunia has made its 10th anniversary, meaning by this time it's 12 years old, and it would be the perfect time for everyone to celebrate. So instead of releasing the game on PS4 for everybody, it's now on PS5 outside of Japan, and as of now, Steam as well. And we all know how Idea Factory optimizes their ship on both ends. They don't, as you can tell by the models. And more importantly, while all of the characters and all of the blueprints are unlocked, giving you the best weapons of the game from the start, that's due to arranged mode. So you don't even have to play original mode, because there's no point. They even added a pointless minigame, because seriously, there's no point. And they'll even give you Eastwar's bookmark for playing Arrange, an item available in Chapter 7. So yeah, with everything they did wrong, you're better off playing the original Rebirth. This gets a con. And that, ladies and gents, is our Hall of Shame. Take a good look at our recipients and give them a big middle finger for being such terrible games with terrible decisions. I will be making a Hall of Fame later on in the month, but until then, ladies and gentlemen, this has been RPMan985. Thank you all for watching, and thank you for your attention.